Hello, welcome to the Educated Franchisee video blog for August 2023. Today, the title of the blog is a barbelled personality, which is an interesting phrase I ran into. I don't know about you all, but this summer has been hot, and I'm a pretty voracious reader. I always have multiple books that I'm reading. Here's like the books I'm currently in the middle of. I usually have three or four like that. I'm currently reading a book on Bain's Rule, very interesting book on how Bain's Rule worked to crack the Enigma code during World War II and how it really gets applied in a whole variety of applications. I have another book I'm reading called The Hands-Off Investor. Talk a lot about real estate syndications, and just always good to be learning, right? Today I want to talk really about chapter 5 in a book called The Psychology of Money that I've been reading. And anytime you read a book, if you can come up with an idea or two, a nugget that you can take home, that it's always a valuable read. And chapter 5 I thought was pretty interesting. So it's an interesting thing. A lot of times we talk about the concept of saving money. Everybody talks about it's important to save money. In the real world, saving money actually is a fairly straightforward thing, right? It's a matter of making sure that whatever you earn, that your lifestyle is below your ability to earn, that there's a gap between your earning versus how you spend money. So you need to make sure that you spend less than you earn, and you have to have the discipline to maintain that over time. And if you do that, you'll save money. That's just the math behind it, right? The challenge is, once you save money, what do you do with the money? That's a very, very interesting question, because I have found over the years that it is easier to make money than it is to keep money, to grow money. And so the chapter 5 in this book talks a little bit about the personality of individuals who are able to do this. And these personalities are not just for investors. The same personalities exist for business owners as well. So what I want to talk about here, just to begin with, is this concept of being financially unbreakable. A lot of people focus on creating wealth, right? Or creating a high level of income. Being financially unbreakable is more than that. Financially unbreakable is not being rich. It's not having a lot of money. It's not being a high earner. What it really is it's having a large variety of income sources, so that if any of those income sources go away, you still have income stability, right? That you're unbreakable from an income point of view, that you can afford to lose one and still have the others. Same thing from an investment point of view. If one investment area goes down, you have other investments in other areas that will continue to keep you going, so that no matter what happens out there, you're able to maintain some stability. That's financial unbreakability in regard to what this is talking about. And everybody says, well, gosh, I'm not like that, right? I have I've got a lot of money and I'm doing pretty well. But the reality is, the most people that are going to be watching this have a job. They have one source of income, right? And they're taking all that money and they're sticking it in the stock market, which is one place to put your money. And the concept of being financially unbreakable is to make sure you're diversified in such a way that that doesn't happen to you, right? That you get, if the stock market goes down, it doesn't matter because your real estate went up, right? Something in that neighborhood. So financial unbreakability, you'll find that wealthy people, successful people have that's their goal. And at the same time, many business owners are also looking at diversification of income streams, right? That's why they get into businesses in many times, and why they look to have multiple locations, why they look to have multiple businesses. It all has to do with this creation of financial unbreakability. The next one is really kind of funny. You know, the old Yiddish saying, it says, we plan, God laughs. And I think it's really well put in that, as Mike Tyson said, we all have a plan till we get punched in the face. Plans are great, but the most important part of a plan is the part of the plan that plans for when the plan doesn't work, right? That's really, really important. So what it's really talking about is this idea is that as you go out and you create your plans, you have to create a margin of safety within that plan. And I'll just tell you a personal story. Back in 2007, I got into a warehouse investment. My buddy and I bought this big warehouse, and we had it all planned out. I mean, literally, we had pages of plans, right, of what we were going to do. We had to have it rented at this amount. We had to have this amount of occupancy, like 95% or something like that. But, gosh, my gosh, everything's going great, shouldn't be a problem. We had this space out front. We were going to rent those spaces and we had to get them divided up and we had to get it. None of that stuff happened, right? Our margin of safety was so small that any blip in any one of those things would make the investment financially unviable. And that's exactly what happened. Our margin of safety was not well thought out. So it's an interesting thing because a lot of times people think about being conservative or avoiding risk as being the same as margin of safety, and that is not true. And the book talks about that. Margin of safety is accepting that risks exists and putting safety around it so that in the end, the risk actually is reduced because of your margin of safety. It's not avoidance. This is the ability to get into it, but to do it in a way that is safer. Again, business ownership, same thing as investing. Being able to get into something so that you have multiple ways in which you can go about making it successful. And the last one is this concept of a barbelled personality, which I thought was pretty interesting. You talk about who it is that's out there building businesses or making investments. And they said something very interesting. They said that these individuals must be an optimistic type of individual. They must be the type of individual that's out there believing that everything is always going up and to the right, and that they're going to be a part of that they're going to be riding that wave of success. And they truly believe that. They don't believe that it won't work, right? They won't ever get into anything. So they believe that, but at the same time, they have to be paranoid, right? So you have paranoid about what if this happens, what if that happens? So it's this combination of optimism and paranoia that really make for the most successful business owners and the most successful investors. If you are simply optimistic and that's it, you're going to make some foolhardy investments because you're not going to be aware of the potential repercussions. On the other hand, if you're constantly on the pessimistic side or the paranoid side, you'll never make an investment. So you're not even in the game at that point, right? Very interesting thought is that these individuals are both optimistic and at the same time paranoid. They balance it out. They use their paranoia to create their margin of safety, right? They use their paranoia to create a financially unbreakable foundation, but their optimism allows them to continually invest for the future. That's it. I hope those were some interesting thoughts for you, something to continue to mull over this summer. And I wish you a great rest of the summer.